Hi, Oki. Welcome. We're here at the Holy Family Mission in St. Ignatius, Montana. It's on the beautiful Flathead Indian Reservation, named after the St. Ignatius, and they also call the town Mission as well. The mission's been here for over 100 years, and it's now a school. And the reason we're here is to talk about technology of learners. And the reason we're here talking about technology of learners is this is where the Catholics first came and built their church and taught their Catholicism to the people in this area, and they responded to the love of Jesus Christ, and so the mission's still here. But also, we're here to talk about a reflection, a requirement for that reflection, technology of learners. And so, with the graduate exit portfolio, I filled that cell with two artifacts, technology of learners, and now I'm talking to you about why I chose those artifacts. So those artifacts do talk about technology for learners, but there's so much more to those artifacts because of the newness of technology. There's little policy, little procedure, and minimal protocol for our learners to follow. And so people who are new to online learning and the World Wide Web and programs and platforms would benefit greatly from a guide while online. And so that's why we have instructors that teach technology to learners. And the first thing we always teach for learners is safety. And I'll tell you some ways to be safe, but also the artifacts I submitted also talk about safety always being first. And so some ways to be safe is by protecting vulnerable populations, and that would be beginners of online and disabled, our youth, our elderly, and they say pregnant are a vulnerable population as well. But let's move on to beginners. And so your guide will show you how you need to maneuver when you're on the World Wide Web. Now, this is exposure to the whole world. So remember, when you're on the World Wide Web, the whole world has potential to see you, hear what you're saying, and what you do, because there are people on the other end of that computer. And so that's part of being safe, is planning your outcomes ahead of time. And the documents talk about planning outcomes to achieve kindness and compassion. And that's always our goal, especially online, when we're reaching out to the world, when we have access to the whole globe, and we want to choose outcomes of kindness and compassion, not only because of the diversity, because of the access we have. And so with safety comes self-discipline, and the artifacts talk about self-discipline, and that's searching for sites that are reliable. So we are avoiding propaganda. We're looking for reliable sites. We are exposing lies. We are speaking truth. And we're teaching our learners to speak truth as well. How do we speak truth? We confidently back up everything we say with research, Research is the backup for all that we do and all that we say as instructors and learners, and we're teaching this to our learners as well. So our learners are learning how to be safe, and that's learning how to choose a reliable site. And most of the colleges and universities are websites are reliable sites to go to and research and get reliable information or data. Libraries are awesome. Libraries are the best resource, but you can go to any school library and probably get what you need. And so you can do that online as well. So the artifacts also teach learners what device to use in what situation, or how to create a goal, an objective, and then find what they need to achieve that objective. For example, the history teacher gives an assignment for the student to get involved in a virtual reality game and write an essay a week on that game. So the guys in there buying up real estate, building a city, selling cars, and multiplying his money. And he writes the report. And this is how a virtual reality game works. For that learner, it may be a real life situation, something he's interested in. For example, a carpenter would be interested in math, so you would relate that math concept to carpentry. Thus, he becomes a master carpenter. And the same with technology. Once you realize the power at your fingertips, you can decide how to use it responsibly, and that comes to the critical thinking. The artifacts talk about critical thinking. So with technology of learning, we want to think at a higher level when we're online on the World Wide Web or reaching out to other cultures globally, possibly enhancing our life and our vocabulary by learning new languages. And I just want to remind you that this is not a joke, learners. This is real life. This is real people and real hearts behind these computers. We don't want to sit behind our computers and make people feel bad. So the research says, when we feel bad or down, we might as well stay off of the computer until we feel better. And that's a choice, folks. That's where that higher level of thinking comes in, is making the appropriate choice. Remember, with learning now, with technology of learning, we can go to school anywhere. We could probably even go to school in Israel and learn the Hebrew language, or France and learn the French language online, folks. That's the freedom of technology, as we can go anywhere into the world and reach out to other cultures. That's why I said it's not a joke, folks. This is serious stuff. And that's why we're talking about it. This reflection defends those artifacts, and that's what's in the artifacts. And so I just want to remind our learners, to remember to first assess the situation. Secondly, make a plan, a safe plan. Implement that plan, evaluate that plan, and start over, because every time you evaluate, you get better and better, closer to becoming an expert, right? Time and study is what makes that expert, according to the research. And I can speak truth because I can back up what I say with research. And I am speaking truth today for you learners. Safety first when online. And remember, smile when you're behind that computer. People will be able to tell if you're smiling or not. And so whether you choose to go to a Catholic school or an online education school, it's your choice. You have the freedom, learners, and you have the power. But remember, when you use technology, you have to be responsible for every word and every action. What does that mean? That means our feelings don't run our lives. No, it means we're able to make choices and how to respond. And so we don't react to situations anymore. We have a positive action that will lead to the positive outcome of kindness and compassion. So thank you for joining me here at the mission in St. Ignatius today. Again, my name is Teresa Peppian. I'm a member of the 2017 graduate cohort at Montana State University Northern. Go Northern Lights! And I am a graduate of the Education Department, Learning and Instruction. And this video fulfills that requirement for the graduate exit portfolio. And that is Technology of Learners. Thank you for joining me, in just a little scenery before we go. We got the Mission Mountains in the background. If you can see them, they still got snow on them. And again, God bless you on making good choices while online and for developing your self-discipline. Have a great day.